attitude at work. We are expected to know, or the cornerstone of this presentation is from the word attitude. Please introspect yourself. How do you view yourself in the place of work? Is it with positive attitude or negative attitude? We know ourselves very well, I believe. If you have positive attitude, you know. And if you have negative attitude, I believe, you know. What I'm expected to do is to tell you what is attitude, the definition of attitude, followed by the explanation on the difference between attitude and behavior. How you are expected to identify how attitudes are developed and influenced. How do you develop an attitude, and how can you influence someone with your good attitude or negative attitude? The next thing is we are going to see how wrong and right work attitudes are. There are examples that each and every one of us is expected to know. The next bullet is we are expected to discover strategies for managing our attitude. How do you manage your attitude? If you have positive attitude, how do you manage it? And if you have negative attitude, how do you manage your negative attitude? The last bullet is name and understand the factors that determine or influence our attitude. There are factors, different characteristics, different things that determine our attitude. Now, what is attitude? If you look at it very well, based on these bullets, the first one says, attitude is a state of mind or feeling with regard to a matter or situation. State of mind or feeling. These are the key terms in this definition. The next one says a mental position with regard to a fact or situation. I underline mental position. You should take note of that. Next is a feeling or emotion toward a fact or situation. Feeling, we've said it before. The next one is emotion. The last speaker has spoken on that. We have different types of emotions. We have negative emotion and positive emotions. We have good emotions and bad emotions. The next one is the way we feel about people. How do you feel about people? That's the first one. How do you feel about objects? The object in your office, the object in this area. How do you feel about it? And not only that, places, trending issues, facts or state. You are feeling toward these things, toward places, toward people, toward events, and things like that. This is one of the definitions. The last one says, our perception about things that affect our state of mind. Your perception, how do you perceive it? Each and every one of us has his own background. Your training is quite different from my own training. You are coming from maybe London, America, Laos, Caribbean, and other local governments like that. You have your training, you have your own perception. If you look at your senses, we have different senses, 5 senses. Each and every one of us has his own senses. Some of us can see very well, some cannot see very well, some can touch things very well, some cannot touch things very well. So how do you perceive things? It depends on your attitude. So if you look at the last line there, attitude is a mirror of the mind. Attitude attitude is a mirror. What your mind is projecting depicts your attitude, project your attitude. So, as a worker, you should be able to know that your attitude starts from the mind. Okay. If you look at this slide, is attitude the same as behavior? Are they the same? I'm asking all of you. They are not. Okay. The omnibus term there is psychology, social psychology. Psychology was brought from two Greek words, psyche and logos. Psyche is the mind, the spirit, where logos is the steady. If you look at this, attitude and behavior. Behavior is the other thing that you can see. Anything that I can see from you can be termed as behavior, meaning what I can see with my eyes and what I can notice from you can be termed as what? Behavior. Okay, let us look at it. Attitude and behavior are two different things. They are not the same, based on what you said. Attitude is a person's inner thoughts. That is the mind. Your thoughts, what you have in your mind, and feelings. Your feelings and your thoughts. The thinking that you have and how you feel it can be termed as attitude. When behavior is usually an outward expression, what I can see from your expression, either directly or indirectly, the actions and inactions, expression of attitude. Attitude influences one's behavior, meaning it starts from the mind. So if you look at the term psychology, is the omnibus term, is the term that conglomerates attitude and behavior. We describe behaviors, we explain behaviors, we predict behaviors, we change behaviors. That is why we are psychologists. If you can change your behavior, or if someone can look at your behavior, describe your behavior for you, predict your behavior for you, and at the same time, that person can change your behavior, you can simply call that person as a what? A psychologist. All right. This slide says, attitude starts from the mind. We've said it before. The mirror is the mind. Mind depicts your behavior in the society. But do not remain there. Meaning, you may conceive it in your mind. It may not stop there. Indirectly, you may express these things, either in your actions or inactions, based on what they are saying. They manifest as behavior. Number one, we see people's attitude in there. Number one, actions and inactions. If you see my action, the way I'm talking, the way I'm demonstrating, this is my behavior. The way you are going about your work in the office, treating people, interacting with people, relating with people, in this environment depicts your behavior. So if you look at it very well, in actions, there are things that you may say them unconsciously, without you determining or without you planning it in your mind. But indirectly, you may say that work ethics, if you follow them very well, if you look at them very well, they may tell you, do this, don't do that. These are behaviors. These are things that we observe. If it is good, we may tag it or term it as what? A positive attitude. If it is not good, we may say that it's a negative attitude, you should stop doing it. The next one is body language. When you look at your body, the way you talk, the way you are positioning yourself, the posture, the facial expressions, the way you are talking to your superior officer, and the way you are talking to your junior officer, depicts your behavior and depicts your attitude at the same time. You have to be very, very careful because your junior ones will take a look at it. They will tag you or they will describe you as this. This is how you do your things. And if you're a senior officer, you should be able to know how you demonstrate, how you do things. So that people get to know that, yes, this is your attitude. This is how you do your things. The next one is the speech. If you look at it very well, the way you talk, it depends on your training. It depends on how you conceive it. The way you talk, people will say that this is your attitude. This is how you talk to people. This is how you depict yourself before the congregants or before the Congress also. The tone of the voice, tonality of the voice matters a lot. Some of us have this nature. They can change their voice or voices to different. Some of us are good at imitating people. The way I'm talking now, if you ask them, they can imitate me very well. If somebody is talking without looking at him, you can simply say that this is so-so person that is talking. Because it depicts his what? His attitude in what he does. Alright. What I said before, you should be mindful of your actions and inactions. What you are saying, the way you are saying it, how you are demonstrating it. If you are giving command, if you are empathizing with someone, how do you do it? If you are sympathizing with someone, how do you communicate to him? In fact, if care is not taken, the way you are doing it to your patients or to the relatives, if you have that empathy with you, they will get to know that yes, this person empathized with us based on how he demonstrated or based on how he is demonstrating also. Now, we are done with that. If you look at this slide, attitude influence on behavior. Is there anything like that? Okay, let us look at it. Attitude can positively or negatively affect a person's behavior. Your attitude can affect your behavior. What you mirror, what you depict, what you project from your mind may translate your what? To your behavior. If you look at it very well, they say attitude can positively or negatively affect a person's behavior. Yes. There are things that we do. The way you receive patients, the way you receive relatives, the way you receive friends, the way you receive people, depicts your inner mind, either positively or negatively. People will read your face, the facial expression. You don't need to tell me that I have overstayed my welcome. From your face, I'll get to know this. From your utterances, expression, I'll know it. Are we getting it? If you are treating a patient, you should be able to know that the patient will get to know that yes, you respect him because of what you exhibit or because of what you are depicting to him. And the relatives will get to know. What are we saying? If you have positive attitude, this is what you want. The essence of this training is for you to change your negative attitude to positive attitude. If you have positive attitude, we want you to double your attitude so that wherever you go, people will cherish you. People will say that yes, he has upright attitude, positive attitude. This person cannot do this because I know him. This is what I'm talking about. A person may not always be aware of his or her attitude or the effect it is having on behavior. Sometimes you may be doing things, you don't know, people are taking care of it. You may not know you are doing it. It's part of your behavior. It's part and parcel of what you do. And people take note of that. Over the years, they will tell you this is how you do it. When you came on board, this is how you started it. But now you've changed. This is how you're doing it. When we came in newly, this is how you treated us. But now you've changed the way you're treating us. So we should take care of that. If a person has positive attitude, then it is difficult to observe them because it has become what? Part of him. There's already ingrained in that. It's very difficult for you to observe them. They are usually bright and cheerful. and see most things in positive light. A person that sees things in positive light. If you see him in the office, he's there waiting for what? Waiting for the next command to come. That is it. He has developed that right from the onset or outset. He has developed that. Already, if you're a good person, it's in you. People will see it in you. They say, attitude is what? Is contagious. Is infectious. Meaning, your attitude may what? May spread. If you have good attitude, you yourself will get to know that people will what? Command or commend what you are doing. And it may translate to other things like that. Okay. If you look at the next one, on the other hand, if a person has a negative attitude, then that attitude will be what? Reflected through behavior. From your mouth, facial expression, the actions, inactions, the way you talk, the way you speak, the language, all these things. Because it has become part of you. You may not know. What are we supposed to do? If you have bad attitude, you don't come to work on time. What are you expected to do? Change. You should start coming on time. If you leave the work before you close an hour, you should be able to know that you are not doing the right thing. You should be able to change. The way you interact with people, the way you talk to them. If you are talking to them in a way that is not good, you should be able to know that this attitude is not good. I'm changing my attitude right from this place now. From what? From negative attitude to what? To positive one. The last slide here, the last point is saying, attitude can be infectious and can influence the behavior of those around them. You don't agree with that? Yes. Yes. If you are good, people will emulate from you, most especially if you're a leader. Right? If you're a teacher, if you're good, you give out thanks. I believe you are learners or you are people, the people close to you, they will emulate from you because you have a very good behavior. Alright? Let's just look at this one. Attitude can be defined as one word. Life. Your life is your attitude. Meaning, the way you see things, the way you conceive things, the way you say things, the way you do things, has become part of you. It's your attitude, it's your life. Are we getting it? It's your life. So you should understand that whatever you do, people will get to know. Let me take you about. Attitude has three components. A, B, C. A is affective component. The B is the behavioral component. And the C is the cognitive component. Meaning, the way you feel, the way you talk, the way you cogitate, the way you do things. If I say cognitive, I'm referring to your thoughts. I'm referring to what you can think, you remember, what you can write because of that. Behavior is what you can do. If you look at it very well, what you can do, people will look at it. It has become part of your attitude. What you feel, the way you talk to people. We have good feelings and bad feelings, good emotions and bad emotions. The way you do it, people look at it. It has become your attitude. So now, they say it makes an incredible difference in your life, your attitude. It can be a powerful tool for positive action. Your attitude can be a positive tool. Meaning, if you have a very good attitude, it can what? Spread. People will like your attitude because of that. They will give you many things that you don't even expect from them. It can be a powerful tool for positive action, and it can be a poison that cripples you. Yes, wherever you go, nobody would like to align with you, or even say that, yes, I love this, I want to go to this person because of this or that. No, you have bad attitude already. It's infectious. You are spreading it to people. It's like you are spreading virus or bacteria to them. That is That's your behavior, that's your attitude. So we should be able to know or not, wherever we are, on this environment, outside this environment, we should get to know that people do look at us. The way we talk, the way we demonstrate things, the way we feel, the way we do things, they look at us very well. It dictates whether you are living life or life is living you. That is your behavior. Your behavior will go to an extent where people will be celebrating you, where people will be doing things for you. Sometimes, if you have bad behavior, negative behavior, they will leave it with you. From there, the carryover starts. Okay. Attitude. If you look at it very well, with a bad attitude, you can never. Look at the term never. You can never have a positive day. With bad attitude, who even give you his trust? Nobody. You cannot grow because of that. People will be praying against your what? Development. Because you are going about with what? Negative attitude. With positive attitude, you can never have a bad day. You can never have a bad day. Meaning, whatever you do, people will pray for you. The Almighty will be what? Will be pleased with you. Because you're a good person. But if you're a bad person, the people around you will not pray for you. Are we getting it? Yes. So we're expected to change our behaviors so that people will cherish us, so that people will celebrate us. Please take a look at this explanation down there. Winston Churchill, he said, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. It's a little thing. Meaning, the way you conduct yourself, the way you go about things, the way you think, the way you remember things, the way you do things, the way you receive a patient. Tomorrow you may meet him somewhere that you don't even expect. From there he may do something to you that you did not even expect that day. What are we saying? We are saying that whatever you are doing here, be a positive person. Meaning a person that will do things to what? To help people. Don't bear this negative behavior, negative attitude. It will not help you. Yes. Okay. We are moving to the next one now. Thoughts that breed wrong attitude. You know them? Before then, let me ask you. What are the thoughts that may breed negative attitude in a place of work like this? Can you help me from this side? This side? Anybody please? Negative thoughts that breed wrong behavior, wrong attitude. I have said some of them. Yes. Yes.
If someone is feeling as if they're putting their best and they're not being appreciated by the people they're working with, or if they feel they have an entitlement that has not been taken care of. So these are kind of issues that makes them to develop negative attitudes.
Very good. Thank you. I want to know these negative attitudes. How do they express those negative attitudes? Are you getting it? Yes. Their entitlement has.
This workload is too much for us.
Good. Can you still say it again, please?
This workload is too much for us. The demand is much.
Are we getting it? Negative thoughts. They are not paying us our salaries. By the way, they are asking us to do this, come to work on time and this. Are you getting it? These are some of the problems. Okay, let me just take us through. Right. Can we take a look at the first one? Okay. Please take a look at this. I'm just fed up with this job. I hate it. I hate this job. You can see a thought from a worker. I just fed up. I'm tired of this. This is a negative thought. That we don't want people to be what? Concealing them. This is expected to what? Conceal a positive what? Thought. Look at the second one. My boss is what? It's so difficult and demanding. He is a pain to what? To work with. Very difficult boss. These are some of the things that we insinuate, right? We say them. These are negative thoughts. We're not expected to say all these things. Your boss is not there, but you may be saying these things. Negative thoughts, they are not good at all. All right, this one. Why was I not copied in the email? Judgmental what? Statement. Why? There is something fishy going on. Something what? Fishy going on. These are negative thoughts. Why can't you give a benefit of doubt? Why can't you paraphrase and give it a positive statement? The first one by the right, why does Brenda spend so much time with Amma these days? Are you getting it? Yes. Why? Judgmental question. Why can't you change it? Change it. Okay? I'm sure they are talking about me. I'm sure. They are what? Meaning they are backbiting. Does backbiting take place in this place of work? Huh?
It does.
Are you sure? Who backbite most? Is it men or female? Men or women? Women? All right. Okay, the next one, our job is just lazy. It's just lazy. She can't finish her report after the deadline was even what? Extended. You can see this statement after the deadline was extended. Look at how the person is putting it. Negative thought, negative statement. You're expected to conceive this type of what? Thought. It's not my fault. The new client left. There are so many competitors these days. You can see this one? The person is pushing the things to someone. Let us, it's like a patient that is coming to this place. Before you bring something, the patient has what? Left. Are we getting it? You now say it's not your fault. Whose fault? What did you do in order to retain the patient? What type of receipt? Acceptance did you give to the patient? What did you tell the patient? Are we getting it? These are very, very good things. We're expected to love them. Okay. The next slide says, thoughts that breed what? Right attitude. I believe from the last slide or the previous one, you can get to know what the right or positive thoughts are. Who can tell us? Who can give us one? Positive thoughts in the place of what? How do we put it? Are you getting what I'm talking about? Yes. Can you help me, please?
I am happy with this, my job.
I'm happy with this job. That's a very good one. Another one.
My boss is so amazing.
My boss is so amazing. Are we getting it? Okay. All right. Let us take a look at it. Thoughts that breed right attitude, not wrong attitude. Meaning positive attitude. This job is tough, but I like meeting new clients every day. It's tough, but I like it. Did you see how this person put this statement? The job is tough, but what? I like it. My boss has high standards and expectations. I need to put in a little more effort. Look at what he said about his boss. My boss has high standards and expectations, meaning I'm ever ready to what? To accept what my boss asks me to do. Are we getting it? These are things I'm expected to what? Brand your mind, occupy your mind with this positivity, with these positive statements. Don't occupy your mind with what? Negative statements. It's not good. I'm sure she forgot to copy me in the email. The previous statement says, why? Are we getting it?
Yes.
Well, look at how this one is written. I'm sure. She forgot to what? To copy me in the email. She's given her what? Benefit of doubt. These are statements that I am expected, you are expected to say it to your colleague. Are we getting it? Don't tag. Don't put judgmental questions. You are taking a judgment. Why? No. Change your statement. The next one says, Brenda and Amma seem to like each other a lot, right? Nice friendship there. Look at how the statement is being changed. So you should be able to know that, yes, if something is happening, it's not fishy. She said before, something fishy is going on. It's not your business. It's not a problem. Just give them positivity. Don't tag negative statement there. Our job must be facing some problems. She wasn't able to what? To finish her report even though the deadline was extended. Look at how the person put this statement. The last says, I must apologize to the rest of the team for losing our new client. I did not what?
Do proper
follow up. Imagine. The patient has left. Hey, what's the problem? You now make a very good statement. This is what we want all of us to note. Are we getting it? We are talking about attitude. How can you change your attitude? Already you have positive attitude. Yes, that's a very good one. What of negative ones? You don't talk to your superior officer very well. You don't talk to the patient very well. You don't come to the job on time. You close very early. What's the problem? These are negative things that may what? Jeopardize your investment. We're expected to change these things. Okay, please. What we have discussed previously is a bit related with this one. Spotting wrong work attitude. Usually unhappy, right? Usually unhappy, what? Takes what? Meaning, if you're not happy, it may what? Overlap. It may what? Spread. It may what? Go on someone. What are you expected to do? You should be able to what? To change your mind. If you're not happy, try to be happy or happier. How do you do that? In the morning, if you wake up in the morning, try to occupy your mind with positivity. Don't say that today this man is going to say this. No. Tell yourself good words, good statements, positive statements that what? Give you positive whatever. Always negative and what? And pessimistic. The person is always negative. You don't have positivity, you don't have positive thought with you always. This person is going to insult me. Now if I touch this patient is going to die, I'll not touch him, I'll not do this, I'll not do that. Why must you say all these things? Try your best. This is what we want to do. The next one has something bad to say about anything or anybody. This is what I just said. Usually a bad mood, unpleasant. Bad mood. You have moody face. It's wearing moody face. you don't seem to smile, you don't seem to laugh with people, you don't seem to interact with people. This is a sign of what? It's a sign of problem. Are we getting it? It's a sign of problem. Interact with people, right? It heals a lot. If you are isolating yourself, in fact, you may develop you may develop suicidal ideations. You may develop this. Having negative attitude, depression, anger, all these things. Before you understand, you are trying to what? Kill yourself. Tired of this world, let me just kill myself. What are you saying? Negative behavior, negative thoughts, not good. Gossip. They say men or women are the what? Oh, women. we gossip. It's not good. Right? It's not good for all of us. It's not a positive attitude, positive behavior. So, gossip not. Stop gossiping. Right? If you can't stop it now, then reduce gossiping. Are we getting it? Yes. Club watching. Yes, this time, when it's 4 o'clock, I will be leaving. Time. Right? You are working. Focus your attention on what you are doing. Don't say that you are leaving. You can leave the place, right? But do the right thing at the right time. I believe the superior officer will get to know what you are doing, and even the people around will get to know what you are doing, and you will be rewarded at the end. Leaves one even before official closing hours. Imagine. Yes. He will not follow the where the Oga will see him. He will change. He will even call somebody to come and pick him on the car or on a car. I'm getting it. I don't want our Oga to see us, to see me. This is what some of us do. Not a team player. You cannot run this place if you are not what? A team player. Are we getting it? Yes. Can you operate person alone? Is it possible? You need what? Assistance, hands, teamwork. They are calling and saying, don't disturb me, I'm tired of this. What do I say? Somebody is lying there. Somebody is at the verge of what? Collapsing. They're saying, please, should not disturb you. What do I say? Negative statement is not good. Does the minimum amount of what? And pretend to work. Minimum. Just one little assignment. No, we've been doing work in this environment. It's making noise. Don't do that. It's not good. Tomorrow they may say that you are the head of this place. How are you going to do? If everybody is leaving the place, is taking his leave before the time, how would you feel as a spirit officer in that place? You not feel well, right? So please, we should be we should be in a team. Put hands so that we can work together. Alright. Offers no solution to issues. Yes. Because he lacks the knowledge, he lacks the capacity.